Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to organize your inbox automatically using an N8N workflow. And we're just going to get straight into it. You can see this is what the final solution is going to look like, and I'm just going to show you how to set it up. And hopefully this shouldn't take too long, but will be quite useful. So let's go ahead and open a new workflow. Let's call this tutorial email labeler. So the first thing we're going to do is put in a Gmail trigger node, and we're going to want to do this because when we get emails into our Gmail, we can automatically trigger the workflow to act and label the emails for us. So on message received. And if you haven't done this already, you're going to want to put a credential to. You're going to want to add credentials to your account, and this is really easily done with this open doc here. And N8N has done it really easily. You can just follow this video down at the bottom right here, and it will take you step by step through what you need to do. But I'm not going to go through that because it will waste a little bit of time. So we have our Gmail connected. We're going to have it every minute. One thing we do want to configure here is that we don't want to simplify the message. So when the message comes through our automation, it will come up with all of the metadata. And I don't think I have anything in there at the moment. So no, nothing was actually found. So let's actually create one and see. Here we go. Test. Hello. And just for reference, I'm going to put labels like high priority. So I'm going to make this a really high priority one. I'm in desperate need of a video call now. Please let me know when your next availability is. Right, let's send this through, and we should, and now we can see that we've received a message here. So nothing else really needs to be done here. We've got our email coming through. Now we want to add a text classifier. Text classifier, and what this will do is take in the emails and then communicate with OpenAI ChatGPT model to classify your text into certain boxes. So text classify. Here we want to make sure that we put in the actual body of the text. So rather than headers, we're going to take the text here, and this is the actual message of the inbox coming in. Then what we want to do is go to labels and add the labels we want. So high priority, let's create this here. Let's have promotion, finance, finance billing, and then customer support. Just as some examples. So here we're going to want to configure this so that we can add the same categories that we've done before. So high priority, customer support, promotion, and what was the last one? Finance billing. So these are the same categories as we had, and in the description, because we're going to be talking to a ChatGPT model, we're going to want to put in the requirements for an email to be put into this category. So the easiest way to do this is asking ChatGPT itself. Let's start a new chat though, and I'll show you exactly how. I'm creating an automatic email classifier to label emails in one of these 4 categories. Got high priority, customer support, finance, and what was the last one? Promotion. Can you please create me a description for each of these to allow the agent to know how to classify emails? So it will come up with a description for each of these categories, and then all we're just going to do is copy paste it in. One thing to note is, I know from experience that in fact examples are very good to give so that the GPT knows what to look out for. But let's have a look. Okay, we have here, in fact, yeah, it's all the way up here, isn't it? And we're gonna just copy this straight in. Of course, I'm doing this very quickly without too much looking, but of course, if you're going to put this, that's for customer support. If you're going to do this properly, I would pay a little bit more attention to how you're prompting the GPT. Oh, that's not the one, is it? Oh, that was finance. Sorry. And then last one is promotion. Oh. Okay, and we have them all. Now we can add a system prompt template, but again, because it's such a simple example, I'm not going to go into prompting this properly. It should be able to solve it in its most basic format. And I believe this is completely configured. So if we so we need to add a model, of course. I almost forgot. Let's open AI chat model, and as with all my previous videos, I always use GPT 4.0 just because it seems to do the job for what I want it to do. You can, of course, go cheaper or more expensive if you want. And let's give this a go at executing. Okay, so this happened, and I actually wanted this to happen before I fixed it without it even occurring. But what's happening here is that the output from the GPT is not coming as NA10 expects it to. So what we can do here is add an option to enable auto-fixing. And what this does is basically it will speak to the OpenAI the model if it detects that it's not in the right format and try and fix it without any intervention on our side. So let's give this another go. And it's executed successfully. And this is ideal. The reason being is the output format of the JSON that we were getting previously was not compatible. So we can see also, I deliberately made a message in high priority kind of tone. So we can see that it has been classified as a high priority item. So now that we have this here, we just need to connect a Gmail so that we can hook it back up and make it work without us even touching it. So add label to message, and we want to take the ID of the message and put it into here. That's going to be fine. Then what we want to do here, so we can do it for each of these separate ones, and we can add a separate Gmail thing. However, if you're going to do this, at the moment, I don't have anything that is actually customer support, or I don't have anything that is anything other than high priority because we only have one email. So rather than send all the emails to start with, we can just copy and paste this Gmail node. And this way, when you go into it, you can see that the JSON ID is already implemented. And this is not going to change for any other email. because it's always going to be the same type, the same JSON ID. Let's do that again. This one. And finally, for this one. So we have this here, and we also want to, so this is in part of the configuration. We can add the label or ID that we want to label this email. So for this one, I believe it was the high priority one. So we're going to put that there. And let's just put HP for high priority. And then we're going to do the same here. Customer support. Let's quickly do these. Promotion. Perfect. Let's put P. And this one was the finance one. Finance. Perfect. Okay, so we've done this now. We've hooked it all up, and if we trigger this node, because we already have an email in here, we should be able to see that it's executed fine and it's been labeled, hopefully, in our Gmail. So let's come back here and see if this has actually worked. Yeah, we can see here high priority has already been labeled, and in our inbox we can see that it's labeled high priority there. So that is perfect. What we're now going to do is save this and then publish it. And if we publish it, this means that the workflow will run automatically without us having to trigger it each time. And because we've set it up for 1 every minute, it will refresh every minute and be triggered. Now, let's test it out. So it's not going to actually pay attention to the subject line because we only put the body of the text through the automation. But let's put in, just so we know, promotion. Hey, I have so many discounts to offer you. This is, please let me know if you would like to talk about it. I'm aware this sounds very much like spam, but for the sake of it, I've made it very obvious. Obviously a promotion attempt. So we've put that there. Also going to put, let's try another one of, let's be a bit more subtle. Computer issue. Can you help me, please? My computer won't let me log on. So this will be a very much a customer service kind of one. So hopefully it should trigger every minute. So if we go back and refresh, at some point this should come through with, if it's been categorized correctly. This might take a minute. And look, they've been categorized at the same time. So promotion and customer support, this is exactly what we'd expect from these kinds of emails. And this is a really basic version of doing it, but one way that you can kind of, I guess, make it more advanced is even for certain types of email. So if it's customer support, you can automate a response. You can ask, and when I say automate a response, you can even put another AI agent to it so that it curates that response and makes it personal to the message that is being received. And you basically will have more time to work on your business. If you say, for example, I'm only going to work on the high priority messages, then you only have to pay attention to high priority messages. So this is just, again, a really basic example of it, but I hope it gives some ideas of what you can do with this tech.